And we are back at it again here at Millennial Tavern. It is yours truly, Mr. Dan Spence, and we have three of our lovely D&D players here today. Unfortunately, we have Reginald back. No, I'm kidding. No, not unfortunately. But unfortunately, we are missing Dion, but we do have Oscar back, so this is very, very good. No. If you do that, I gotta kick everyone out of the house because we only play with 3 people.
I'm canceling.
Sat through this entire traffic just to fucking get here.
That's endure a storm. Yeah. Car upside down, by the way.
It was?
Oh,
shit.
And then one onto the other side of the road. So it was like, they definitely. Yeah.
They didn't stick the landing.
Yeah, they did not stick the landing. I hate it when it happens, man. But anyways, so we are back at it, though. We will not be playing with Dion, unfortunately. He had something. I can't remember what it was, but something.
Has something come up.
Something come up, which happens to all of us.
Something come.
Oh. Come up it. But we're going to go ahead and play some more D&D, as we have a lot of things that happened recently. So let's talk about that. What has happened recently?
Wow. I mean, where do I start? Truly. Read a book.
A lot of reading.
So, just to kind of give context to everything, we found ourselves in the Noble District. We're like, wow, we have some time to kill before Reginald's big fight. And we're like, hey, let's go to the library. There's probably cool, useful information there. And also probably secrets. Ooh. So we go to the library. We kind of split up after trying to explain to the librarian what we wanted. We split ways. Somebody ended up finding a secret passage, and then
Hitchhiked.
Yep.
On the back of an armor.
Then 2 other people
got captured.
Found 2 other people found a restricted pathway that led to a restricted area with restricted books, and the secret passageway ended up leading to somewhere far more unexpected. On this said lone journey that I'm sure we'll hear more about, Reginald attached himself as a spider to what seemed like somebody protecting one of the commanders of the Lord's court. So definitely people hiding in this part of the library. You clung to them, and eventually the luck ran out, and the checks didn't do what the checks needed it to do. And you were swatted out. You were like, "Oh no, please! I'm just a little guy." And they're like, "That's crazy! What the hell the fuck? Never mind. You come with us."
Yep.
And they took you down to prison where you found the necromancer guy, and he's like,
sold me out.
he's like, "Hey, first of all, fuck yourself. Second of all, also fuck yourself. And third of all, if you want to get out of here, I know a way." And you're like, "That's crazy. Let's do it." He's like, "Yeah, but we gotta touch tips after." And you're like, "I don't give a fuck. Just get me out of here." And he went to sleep, woke up naked, and that's all we...
Tip was touched.
Well, you made a deal with him to bring him back something from the Hive Extra.
Yep. And I gave
Let
him
you
another
choose.
little knick-knack as well.
Haven't given it to him yet.
Not yet, but I'm going to have to give him
Where'd you keep it?
You did end up going back. You did end up going back to your house, though.
Yep, I did end up going to my house. Door was open. Window was open, I'm sorry. And I went in there, got a nice change of clothes. Not my usual ones, but hey, still, nonetheless, a change.
Good grief, he's naked.
Took a little short rest in there, too.
A little short rest in there, so yeah. I'm all rested a little bit.
And we will resume there after we finish with you guys. So what else did you guys have done?
Well, once we found out, like, where the fuck is Reginald? Like, hey, we should probably look around for the guy. It's not like him to just wander off. Also, it'd be illegal for him to wander off, so we need to fucking find him. We could not find him after searching up and down, outside the library, inside the library. We were like, what the fuck? What do we do? Maybe he'll turn up. And so we went to turn up, and D'Artagnan. D'Artagnan already had gone to the casino again and started fucking boozing it up like crazy. We end up going inside the casino, and we meet up with him basically right as soon as he's leaving and we're coming in. He's like, "Yo, found out Reginald's dead." We're like, "Huh? The fuck are you talking about?" He's like, "Yeah, I just heard it. Straight up."
That's right.
We're like, "That's fucking nuts." Anyway, let's go upstairs. And so we immediately went upstairs. We're like, "Well, he might be dead, but we think this guy's a liar," and then he passes out.
Because we're like, his wife's still here. Like,
Oh,
it
this
doesn't really
doesn't
seem like he's dead.
Mm.
I investigated your wife, and it looked like she was at ease. I did. I investigated your wife.
He's like, what's wrong with you? Where's the rest of you?
You're hiding something, aren't you?
So we go to sleep. We wake up in the morning. We're like, wow, this whole Reginald business, right? I'm good. I'm so glad we got some rest so that we can go fresh eyes, fresh ears, ready to go look for him. And then you run through the door. We're like, that's crazy. What the fuck? And then you bless up on waifu, fall asleep immediately. We're like, that's okay. So I guess that takes care of one thing we were going to do today.
Yep.
And then we're like, okay, so library time? Yeah, cool. And we go to the library, to the restrictions section that we were invited to back after lots of persuasion.
Lots of persuasion.
And we get up there, we learn about several different passages from several different tomes covering several different topics, some of which are in several different pages that were given to us. And
you guys can review those too.
Yes. And we did copy the notes miraculously very fast somehow.
Yes.
It's crazy.
I went to advertise just so you're aware. I'll say it in character, I don't give a shit. But I also have the ability now to read any book I want to.
Congratulations.
Just FYI.
Okay.
Cool.
Well done. Look at this guy.
Very happy. Very proud of you.
Hey, I need utility spells, right?
Yeah. That's a wizard. That is a wizard.
And so after that, we were like, okay, I guess library time over, sad. He's like, don't come back here unless you get a pass for real, for real. I'm like, whatever. Just kidding. We weren't like that. We left, and that was pretty much where we left off.
I think so. Yeah, you guys left, and we're heading back to the hotel, Fortune 10. So I think that will go ahead and...
Okay.
Thanks.
I think that will go ahead and do it. Thank you very much, woman whose name we will not be saying forever. Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and resume there. So as we go ahead and actually rewind to the day before, Reginald ends up running all the way through the town, getting made fun of a little bit as basically just some kind of a clothesless lunatic running through the Blighted District, which is nothing really short of a normal Tuesday, but as you go ahead and find your way over to your house, you find that the entire place has been barred up, but you were able to find a window, and you climb in through that window, get your belongings, and are able to essentially just put on some old clothes as you can't seem to find your normal clothes. It's a little more torn up and has a little bit more dust collecting on it as you're kind of trying to, not breathe in too much of the dust and dirt, so you're able to get everything together and compose, and you decide to take a little bit of a rest there and just kind of relax for a little bit as the sun's basically completely set in the Blighted District and you're sitting there in your house. You're thinking to yourself, I have to get back there somehow. I got to get back there. My wife's up there. I need to perform the ritual, and how am I going to get into the city? There has to be a way. But you're kind of just pondering all this, sitting there. What do you want to do?
I sit there, ponder for a little bit, and I'm actually gonna go over to my next door neighbor's house. Actually,
Okay.
go over to
What's his name?
Quar.
Guar? Okay.
She knocked on the door.
I've already paid my taxes. I'm sorry.
Quar, it's me. It's Reginald.
You're gonna hear like a scurrying in the house. Reginald? You're alive.
Very much so, friend.
Rumors been traveling through the entire Blight District that you're dead. You come in.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
I thought maybe it was just raccoons that got back into your home over there. I did not realize that was you.
Raccoons, cat, whatever, same four-legged creature.
I saw something fluffy jumping through the window. I
No need to worry about it. I can assume word does get around pretty quick. Gossip is one of the town's favorite pastime activities. especially here in the Blighted District.
There were reports that the gods took your body out of the city and threw it off.
Well, that rumor is not wrong, technically. My body was thrown, yes.
Sorry, sweetheart. Go back to sleep. Daddy is so sorry. You're gonna watch it. He just kind of like leans over. You see like what his the daughter can do. Just kind of start rubbing her eyes. Just kind of looking around. Obviously not seeing anything as her eyes are completely glazed over from being blind. She's just trying to kind of take a senses.
Just gonna look over to her and smile.
Can she smell Reginald?
Let's go outside. Sorry. Actually, are you able to get inside your home?
Oh, yes, perfectly fine.
Let's go speak in there. At least there'll be a wall of separation.
Yes,
so.
come. I just get up and I follow. Well, I lead through the door, and I go ahead and open the door.
So, I'm sorry. Carry on. I'm so sorry. I want her to get her sleep.
I understand. No, trust me. There's a few things I want to ask you, but let me at least clear what's been going on. Clear up what's been happening.
Actually, I've heard with all the refugees that there's doppelgangers in the city. Why don't you tell me?
Of course.
Where did you go when your wife was falling ill?
Well, I went to
IRL
the temple. I studied
Which temple, though?
temple of...
I think someone could just infer that if you were actually who you thought you were.
Yep. Well, you're correct on that. I did go to the temple Huar, and you know what? The temple that I went to is very real. The temple that I'm about to tell you is the temple of Shia Kia.
Very good. What was your wife's name?
We threw out his name.
Okay. Sorry, I
No.
realized standing in this room alone with you, I was a little worried. I mean, no.
No, none taken. None taken, my friend. I would be very wary if I were in your shoes as well. Really, that much talk about doppelgangers in the city?
Yes.
What else do you know about this?
The Scale Legionnaires have been talking about it a lot. And it's been a worry across many of the Scale Legionnaires. They've been checking papers far more rigorously than they have been in the past. And I worry that what was the word that they... It was one of the larger words that are used by nobles. They were more forthcoming with information, or they were... Is that how you use it? You're more ventured than me. Is that right? They're asking people more questions. Is that the forthcoming?
Yeah, they're being more inquisitive.
Sounds actually more like the word they use. But
I don't blame them now. I'm trying to say if maybe he was a doppelganger.
Who?
Sorry. I ran into a little bit of trouble while I was in the Noble District. For you see, I was with my traveling party in the Noble District. We were in the library. I may have found a section that I was not permitted in.
Why are you sharing this with me, Reginald? Should I be worried?
Forget I said. I'm saying. I want to assure you everything is fine for right now. My biggest concern right now is trying to get back into the city. Now, with you telling me that there's more checks, more frequent checks around posts, it'll get a little bit more dicey.
Roll perception really quick. Since you're still over by your house.
Wow. 10.
Okay. You're gonna end up hearing what is like an echoing scream coming from parts of the Lion District. And as that kind of echoing scream kind of catches your ear, you kind of stop talking for a second, and you hear what is another loud voice just kind of echoing. This loud voice ends up saying, "Inside, everyone! Off the streets! Clear the streets! Get inside your homes!"
Wow, what's going on?
I don't know. Your window always had a better view. Can we see into the streets, perhaps?
Yeah, I go over to the window to see what's going on.
Roll investigation.
17.
Okay. You don't have the best view, but you have a bunch of shadows that are kind of being cast. One of those shadows, it looks like there's just light just resonating across the entirety of the middle strip that goes through the Blighted District. And you were looking at some of these shadows. It looks like they're kind of like creeping, and they almost have like a skeleton-like shape. And then you end up recognizing as the shadows kind of move a little bit more that they actually look like bones coming out of the shoulders and the arms. And eventually, they'll piece together. This looks like actual Scale Legionnaire armor, but they're walking around the Blighted District at night, and the entirety of the center roadway is just completely illuminated. And you're actually going to see what looks like one of the Scale Legionnaires actually come around the corner. They're actually grabbing somebody by the arm, tossing them inside the house, saying, "Get inside! Stay inside till it's over."
Or is this something new? What have they been doing?
I don't know what's happening.
Okay.
This is the first time anything like this has happened in the Blighted District. For as long as I've lived here, as long as you've lived here, I've never seen them wandering the streets this late into the evening, forcing people inside their homes. They've never come into the Blighted District enforcing curfews.
This is odd. I need to get a better look at this. I want to just keep my eye on them for right now. I want to just see as they pass by. If they're doing anything else, or is that just it? Or they'll just continue to walk down the streets, or
It looks like there's actually a couple guards posted up, kind of watching these center areas. Looks like the kind of alleyways that people are living down inside the Blighted District. Looks like there's just some guards posted there with their lanterns and torches, as it looks like they're just kind of watching, making sure nobody's coming in and out. But you are going to see where there's more and more light building behind them, basically kind of swelling like a sun that is casting these massive shadows down the corridors over towards your building.
okay, so it's coming towards.
The lights coming towards. The lights coming, like, so if you guys are in the house over here, the actual street that you'd be walking down, there's guards posted in front of these streets, and there's a massive light that's just coming across and shooting all the way, casting massive shadows over towards where you are. Basically, the light's shining kind of almost in your eyes to an extent.
Okay. Well, I'll stay here.
I have no intention of going outside.
I'm going to just. I'm going to go into like one of my little pouches right in my pocket, and I'm like, Where's? I could have sworn. This will do. And I go over to the windowsill and just get a little bit of dust and I'm just casting a Pass Without Trace on myself.
Okay.
And I want to just sneak my way out, trying to cut through the alleyways to get closer to the light.
Okay.
To see what's going on.
Roll stealth.
$25.
Okay.
Oh wait, hold on. $35.
Okay. Yeah, so it's really difficult to find any patches where you're able to like really hide from this light, as it seems like it's consuming the entirety of the area. But you're able to find those patches. It's hard, but you're able to find those patches. Even when you're kind of in the light with all the clothing you're wearing and everything too, you just kind of almost blend directly into the ground itself and the mud and everything. as you end up kind of maneuvering around a little bit more, you end up getting to a spot where you could kind of start crawling on top of a building. And as you begin to kind of get your head up and look over, you end up seeing what is this massive light coming from all the Scale Legionnaires. You see what is like at least 25, 30 Scale Legionnaires covering this entire area. It looks like more of them kind of keep coming from this line, running up past and clearing more people out. And as you're looking around, just trying to see exactly what might be happening, you see what is some Scale Legionnaires carrying something. One step at a time down the corridor. And as you are trying to make out what this is, you see that this thing's entirely laced with gold. Looks like it has some kind of a felt kind of dangling from it, and silks kind of draped across as well. You're able to look and barely catch a little bit of it as the wind begins to pull a little bit of the silks out of the way. You look inside, you see what is Wilhelm the Bold, sitting inside of what seems to be this lofty chariot that they're kind of pushing and carrying through the Blind District.
I'm just gonna just lay there on top of the roof, just eyes peeled, like, Wilhelm the Bold. Why is he in the Blind District? I've never seen him. Would I have
You would have never seen him before.
Just never seen him.
You might have caught a glimpse of him in the arena, even then. Like this is really close to be around.
Why is he in the Blighted District? There must be a reason why. I'm gonna continue observing.
Okay. And you're gonna watch as they're kind of going through, and this kind of just being ushered, just going straight down. And as you kind of see the direction they're going, they're literally taking the main path of the Blighted District all the way over to what you're kind of seeing is like this wood line, which you know actually takes you over to the docks.
I'm going to attempt to follow it.
Okay. Roll stealth for me. You're lucky you have pacified traits.
Oh my god, my dude. Nat 20, 37.
What? You're gonna end up kind of knowing basically this like giant radiating light is all you need to follow. You're gonna end up just kind of crawling your way through the different buildings and everything. You're actually gonna kind of jump through one of the buildings. So you kind of just like
go on like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
through, like,
literally
the
just
top
like
of the buildings and
as you're
everything.
going through, and you're gonna end up getting to the point where you kind of scale the top of a building. You see what there's like a little bit of a silk just kind of draped across. You run across the silks as you jump over to the next building, and it looks like you're right in front of Scale Legionnaires, but they don't seem to catch you at all. As you eventually end up getting to this point where you like slide off the roof into this little like hay pile, you're able to crawl your way out and fall right over into the woodline. Gonna make you roll another stealth now. You're out of the city.
$33.
Okay. Looks like the Scale Legionnaires are actually trying to push out a little bit into the wood line to make sure everything's clear as Wuham is moving through. But you're able to remain undetected. And as they eventually end up working their way all the way through over to what looks like this dock area, you end up seeing what is a boat there. And the entire area seems to be cordoned off by Scale Legionnaires. It seems like there's an entire arc going around the massive dock that this area is. It looks like there are actually Scale Legionnaires that are standing inside the doorways of the inn that you stayed at before. As it looks like Wuham the Bold's cart is being taken to a point, and then it stops. As you end up seeing what looks like the Scale Legionnaires open up some silks, and Wuham the Bold begins to actually hover his way out. And you end up seeing what is a couple of individuals that end up walking out of what is this like small boat. Not like a rowboat, but a smaller boat. What's your roll investigation?
14.
It's hard for you to tell with the light and everything, but as the Scale Legionnaires end up moving even closer, you're going to end up seeing what is a sigil on the side. Sigil of the Imperial Armies. And you end up seeing as one of these individuals ends up getting off the ship and walking out. One of them ends up wearing just traditional Imperial armor. It looks like he moves out. He starts talking to one of the Scale Legionnaires. You can't overhear any of this conversation. You're too far away, but you watch another one gets out. And this one actually is donning a mask.
So one was wearing a sigil of the Imperials and one's wearing a mask?
Mm-hmm. And one's wearing a mask. It seems like almost like if you were to imagine if you were to imagine a drama mask. It's a drama mask, but the mask itself is made entirely of what looks like silver. And you're able to look and see as like the light's reflecting off it, all these etchings and markings going through. It looks like the sigil of some kind of a something on there, and then more and more markings, this ornate vines and tapestry kind of going across. And as that person gets out, you're going to end up seeing as they kind of look behind them and put their hand out as another individual in the gang. This one has a gold mask going all the way through. Looks like he has like belts and drapes and silk covering every side of his face as he gets out there wearing full armor. He ends up walking down over into what's the central area of the docks and just stands there, waiting as Uhem the Bull begins to approach. What do you want to do? And roll history for me really quick.
But you know what? It doesn't fucking matter because that's a nat 20.
It doesn't matter because that's a nat 20. Well put. So one of the things that you are kind of remembering, and all of a sudden it just comes to you, just like a freight train.
Just like a nat 20 or something.
Yeah, just like a freight train it comes to you. And it's like the Imperials are very religious, and that religious belief falls heavily into the Imperial armies. You end up recognizing that the one that's kind of standing at the bottom is just wearing standard armor and everything with the Imperial sigil, is wearing some kind of a face covering, but not full face covering. Just covers some parts of his face. It has a chainmail going all the way across with a little point on top. You know that's like a standard treatment, essentially, for Scale Legionnaires, or not Scale Legionnaires, for the Imperial Army. Then the one that ends up having a sailor mask, that's an officer. You remember that only officers in the Imperial ranks end up wearing masks, and they normally end up having sigils of the very gods that they serve on them, in addition to the ornate marking, where it kind of shows of status. It shows of their prestige in the actual Imperial Army. But one of the reasons that they do this is because it is believed that when the Imperial officers give orders, the soldiers below them should never be taking it as orders from them as mortals, but as if it was from the gods themselves. Why they bear these masks and the sigils. They don't need to know this is coming from another man. They just need to know that this is coming from the gods. And you know that silver is one of the higher ranking officers, but the highest ranking officers are generals, commanders. Those normally don gold masks.
Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay. Oh, fuck, I'm 40k here. Holy shit.
You're so lucky that you have a fucking high ass stealth.
Guess what? I'm gonna use
just
that
like-
stealth again.
He's watching all this. Got a bit of popcorn just off the side of the street. No crunching sounds as he makes it because the magic.
The gold are generals.
Gold are generals or high commanders.
Commander, my ass hurts.
Okay, what do you want to do?
I am in disbelief as to what I am seeing, and I also don't know what the fuck is going on. So many questions. Reginald is perplexed, but he is curious. Everything's. I couldn't hear them from where I am. I'm gonna look around if there's a way that I can get closer.
It looks like one of the only ways you feel like you'd be able to reasonably get closer is if you were just like literally in the air, or if for some reason you were like in the water or something, like kind of deep under. But even then, it would be kind of risky. It looks like the Scale Legionnaires are actually holding lights, kind of swirling around the water.
How far am I away from the water?
You're probably a good 50 to 90 feet away from the water. Yes, sir. What do you want to do?
Give me a moment.
All right. In the meantime, while he's doing that, we're gonna fast forward to the next day. And you guys are gonna be walking outside of the library, having just read some cool things and getting ready to walk back.
Are we carrying him?
At this point, D'Artagnan's kind of getting his bearings back.
Okay.
But he's gonna be walking with you guys, just really trying to focus on himself. But he's probably not gonna want you to talk.
He's reading over his notes.
So what do you guys want to do when you're walking back?
Well, what else were we supposed to do today?
Oh, Reginald.
We're supposed to look for him first, but now he's here, so we don't even need to do that. We did the library.
We're gonna go to the void, right?
No. Did you not hear what it was? A place where nothing returns. Including the very valuable magical items that might be down there.
Yeah, just like this ring. I mean, we have some time. We can... Do you want to look into your ring a little bit?
We have the passage.
Still. Do you know all about it?
We have some of it.
I think he's got the paper copies. Yeah, you want the paper?
Well,
We can always. I mean, what time of day is it?
At this point, it's probably around the last room, like around noon, basically, maybe a little bit.
So we have like what, 3 hours before the fight's supposed to start?
Probably closer to like 6 hours.
6 hours before the fight's supposed to start.
starts at sunset. Well,
Well, we need to get him back to the room. He needs to go back to sleep.
I'm surprised he was able to read and take notes as well as he did. Very high functioning, perhaps.
Well, you know, when you're a wizard, you learn a thing or two about libraries. Sorry,
You're a wizard?
I'm a little drunk.
You sneak a flask inside. Very well, let's get you to the room. But we can also maybe rouse Reginald and see what happened.
I can roleplay 2 different days.
I'm okay with retconning it.
Very well. We can go back. It's fine.
So you guys will start heading back to the room. Then you guys can go ahead and read more of that stuff if you want. We're gonna go back to you, Reginald. What are we doing?
Give you 5 minutes.
I know. You know
That's
what?
balance.
I'm gonna scrap the idea.
Shoot myself.
I'm just going to try to observe from where I am and see if I can just try to listen or focus into any of the keywords I can.
You could try to get closer to it if you want. If you wanted to get as close as possible, like I was saying, you probably wouldn't want to go aerial, or you probably would want to go in the water or something. But you could try to still get closer all the same.
Spider again.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna.
I didn't realize we just persuaded him to do something.
All right.
Good job, Alex.
Spider-Man.
Not even the spider. I'm gonna do something else.
Oh, let's hear it.
So I'm gonna get close to the fucking water, stealth my way to it, just get into the water and wash it into a gator.
A gator?
A gator.
Roll survival for me.
It's very traveled man. He's probably seen one gator.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
Well, especially if there was anything to do with a hag. I mean, there was definitely a swamp.
Okay. 17.
You know a gator wouldn't be in these waters. Because these waters are kind of like they're kind of more like freshwater, kind of going into the ocean saltwater. Like it would probably be more like crocodile-y, if anything.
Well, that's yeah. That's what I meant by gator.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
crocodile.
Crocodile.
He's immediately gonna die from the conditions of saltwater.
Saltwater and freshwater ones.
I can hold
Oh,
it.
hey guys.
There's a gator over there.
Oh, the salt burns. Ah.
Alright. Alright, so you go ahead and wild shape instead into a crocodile.
Okay. Now I'm gonna try to like stay under a little bit, maybe like a foot under. That so way that like I'm like trying to get near the boat and just under it.
Okay.
And to the point where like I'm like at the bow.
You still have your pass without trace active, right?
Yes, pass without trace
Of course
still
you
works on Tango.
Okay. Yep, that makes sense.
Yep.
Alright, go ahead and roll stealth.
Bro, shut up. You son of a bitch!
It was literally a 4. That's crazy.
Do you have any inspiration?
Ah!
He just has a +10 and whatever else.
Yeah, it's just a plus 10 right now, yeah, so that's a 14.
Okay.
Again, I don't really
That's
know
pretty
much
funny.
the fucking stuff.
Alright, as you end up kind of swirling your way over there, you're gonna end up feeling it's like you're not too used to being a crocodile. Your tail kind of comes up and whoosh, gives a little bit of a mini splash. It's nothing too crazy, but it was enough as like something might have been over here. As that happens, you're gonna watch as like one of the guards begins kind of moving around as you're kind of trying to slither as fast as you can over and behind the boat a little bit more. Why don't you roll stealth again?
Shut up.
20.
25.
Okay, and as you end up doing that, it looks like the guard's just kind of looking over. There's crocodiles in these waters, right? I'll just make sure it doesn't get too close.
Crocodile sound.
Alright, so as you end up kind of like swimming a little bit under the boat and kind of working your way up a little bit, just barely surfacing your head and kind of getting your eyes, your nose, your ears out, you end up hearing a little bit of a conversation that's kind of midway. I'm so happy that you are willing to meet with me. It's a short notice, General. But it is but an esteemed honor to meet the Utham the Bold himself. You recognize that this is more than likely the man that was wearing the gold mask earlier. Utham the Bold, this is an esteemed honor. Truly. I've heard tales of your time coming over to the Freelands. Though your escapades are disowned by the gods, I can understand that you have a great deal of action, a great deal of drive, and you are indeed a businessman, one who makes smart decisions. Well, sir, your flattery will only get you so far, friend. And my flattery does not mean to get me much farther than that. To hand the bolt. I have a question for you. I would assume so that you came to my lands. What is it that you desire? What I desire is what you already have. Your freedom. I desire nothing more than you maintain your stake here in the Freelands. Remain impartial to the Lord. My armies, we mean no harm to you. Nothing. We wish you, though we condemn what you do, to maintain it. Carry on. You are not part of this war. You've never supported the Lord. You've only but succumbed to the taxing and poor-drawn nature of his way of life. But it's very true. We do not condone anything that the Lord has done. We pay our taxes, which is about the length of our relationship. We do not wish to get involved in this war, but we have actually received things from the Lord himself. I do not wish to get too much into the details. Oh, I'm certain. But if the Lord was in the city, you would tell me, correct? It's not my place to tell of the inner workings of my city. I protect my people, and if the Lord and his servants and free people were inside of the city, I would not tell you. However, I will cooperate with whatever you might be asking. Very well. But is he working in your city now? I've already told you I will not tell you the answer to this question. Very well. I beg pardon of my inquisition. But I will say, since I will not be paying your city any harm, spending any time in it, I have a question. You have already asked. Go on. What is it that you request from me? Uhem the Bold, as I'm sure you know, as your scale legionnaires keep excellent tabs on anyone who enters your city. It's a sign of good faith in this relationship we will have, where I bid you no harm, keep my armies far away from your walls. I only ask that the deserters that have come into the city, you hand them over to me. For they have not only deserted the army of the Imperials and the Empire, but they have deserted their gods, taken our life at debauchery, sin. You hand them over to me, and I will make sure that our arrangement and everything stays in the finest of graces. These are the generals of this commanding army, in this journey to rid the free lands of the evils that the Lord has besmirched upon us. I ask that. I do not know if we could do this. It is not in the nature of the Scale Legionnaires to get involved in these kind of matters. I don't understand this. I do. But Uhem the Bold, I beg you. I beg you. They must pay for their crimes. Must be made to pay the consequences dealt by Dawn for dismissal of the gods and their will. In the spirit of keeping in good graces, as we seek a mutual alliance here, I will allow these men to be tracked down into the city, and perhaps they'll be forced to fight for their death. We have fights in the arena. I know your people frown upon this nature of trailers, not even by combat in front of the gods, but for the fun and pleasure and entertainment. I know you do not please or approve of these doings, but since they have chosen a life of debauchery, perhaps it will be in the best nature if they are forced to partake in the fullest form of this debauchery. You'll cancel the preliminary fights. You will force them to go and fight to the death beforehand. I do not like this, but how will I know this is done? Well, you yourself can come and bear witness. We can sneak you into the city if you like. Normally boats do not come and dock at my humble abode, but we shall allow you to dock there. We will transport you into the actual area, where you can view the killings for yourself. Know that they have been dealt with. You know how many deserters there were? 6. There's believed. That's what I've heard back from my commanders, my officers. Then 6 it shall be. We shall track them down. Here, Legionnaires, Commander. Yes, what could I do? Start tracking down these men. Round them up. They will be in the next trial by combat. Willing or unwilling, they will be sent into the arena. Do we have a deal? Yes. Uhem the Bold? I believe we do. I thank you very much. And thank you for agreeing to meet with me on this short notice. I know your armies are being devastated by the dragons now. Yes, they are. I don't understand why they started heading out. I do appreciate you're willing to meet. But of course, you'll watch as what seems like the light begins to shift as it looks like some of the Scale Legionnaires begin walking off. We'll have the bold. Yes. What languages do you speak, by the way?
Almost read up. I speak short sword, simple, and weapons. Common, druidic, gnomish, and other common.
Okay. Okay. You're going to end up hearing a little thing after that. That's what the upper says. So the general says, "You have the bold. Wakali Alasar." You're going to watch Uham just kind of shifts, the light begin to shift. Ikalia Alasar. Watch as the shadows begin to kind of move, and it looks like there's almost like a bow between them. You hear as the walking begins to kind of separate. Sounds like people are beginning to walk in a wooden boat that's kind of right above you. And the lights begin to kind of shift off ever so slightly. And you're going to end up recognizing as you've been out for a greater portion of the evening. You probably have about 3 hours roughly until dawn. And it looks like the boat begins to head back out into the Eye of Exrath. And the lights of the Scale Legionnaires end up filing their way off.
Chill out in the waters until the being settled down a little bit more. Just find a little dock that I can just kind of beach on. And then wait till there's no more wandering eyes or anything, and just revert myself back.
Okay. And you're able to do that.
Okay. I begin to walk towards my home. Back to Gor.
Okay. Right. And as you end up doing that, you realize that the Scale Legionnaires are pretty much still running the city.
They're still around posted.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I well past 10 minutes now, so now we're off.
We're gonna go back to you guys, okay? So as the two of you end up kind of walking back into the Fortress Inn, you end up eventually getting your way upstairs, and as you end up kind of finding your way up, you eventually end up getting to the door of the room. And as that happens, you end up opening it up and walking inside. And as you end up eventually just getting inside this room, you're gonna end up looking around, seeing what is Reginald just kind of barely starting to wake up. We're gonna go back to you, Reginald.
Okay. Alright. I would say, okay. What? This is coming. It's gonna be another time. I'm going to just shift.
Okay. Into
a cat. And just start going through the city
okay.
and trying to make my way into the city.
Okay. Go ahead and try and make your way through the checkpoint. So as this cat's just gonna
Yep.
like
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So go ahead and
Yep.
roll a dex save.
Dex saves.
As it looks like the Scale Legionnaires like, "Oi, what's that? Hey, what's that cat doing?"
Like, that was real cute, didn't it? Louis, 16.
Okay. As you end up kind of like slipping through, it looks like one of them tries to grab you. You just kind of jump right through the arm, like, "Oh, get that cat! Stop it from going in there! No one's allowed to the city." You end up just kind of running the rest of the way to the city.
Fucking cats.
So as you end up just kind of like literally just prancing and going all the way through, you're eventually going to get to the point where you get to this other gate. Looks like the Scale Legionnaires there are kind of like just talking amongst themselves, not really paying much mind to anyone. No one's supposed to be up at this time. What are you gonna do?
Let's see. I don't have any fucking papers whatsoever.
You're my guest. No,
No,
not
You
even
would
that.
still be in your wild shape. So
Yeah. Oh, it's okay. Okay. They're not just paying much money. Okay, I'm just going to attempt to hug the wall a little bit. And is there like is the gate closed?
The gate's closed, yeah.
The gate's closed. Is it like a hardwood door or is it like
it's
an iron?
It's a hardwood door, but it looks like the door itself has a little bit of an area where you might be able to squeeze through actually, because you are a cat.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to do that.
Okay. As you do that, roll stealth on me.
Yep. Gotcha. I guess.
Good thing you have +10.
No.
Not those time.
Nope, no more +10.
No more +10.
Can I get another one of these, by the way?
I don't think you get any more of the regular ones.
Oh, that's fine. I can just get the super.
Oh, yeah,
there
you
we
can.
go.
These.
Appreciate it.
Oh.
Shall we keep licking yourself?
That's a 4.
Okay. All right. So as you end up kind of like slipping underneath the door, you're gonna hear like you're just kind of stuck in it. It's like you're eventually able to get. It's like, oh, what was that? What was that sound? You end up hearing it's one of the guards that'll just kind of open the gate and goes in there. And that's like you're just kind of barely trying to get through. You're eventually able to, you claw your way through, and you end up saying what's a scaly. Oh, and you can't get the cat, you can't get away, and he's just gonna start like chasing you through the city, and you're just sprinting as fast as you can, which your movement speed I think is 40, right?
That is actually a good question. Hold on.
What's the cat's movement speed?
Movement speed is. Oh yeah, it's 40.
There we go. So he's gonna be constantly just slightly behind you as he's just sprinting through this thing. Go ahead, get that cat, get that cat. And he's just gonna be following you all the way through as you just sprint straight into Fortune's den, straight up the stairs. And then eventually it feels like you finally lost him as you just get up to the front of the door. Your wild shape ends up coming to an end as you just kind of grab onto the door handle, open it up, crawl in there, just panting, go and lay your hands on your wife.
I'm just gonna grab her by the arms.
He's alive.
Immediately go into an incantation and pass out on the couch. To eventually end up waking up after a long rest on the sofa as the two of them end up walking back in there with D'Artagnan.
Reginald. It's great to see you awake.
You might need to move. Here.
Huh?
You need to lay down.
Wait, you're
Dart,
kicking me out?
Yeah, kicking you off so Dart can fall asleep on the
hi,
couch.
good morning. Sure. Dart, what's wrong with him?
By the way, I'm also green. You haven't seen me green.
What's wrong with him? And am I still dreaming? He's green?
No, that's a thing he does every day.
Okay.
Are you
Maybe
feeling
tomorrow,
okay?
maybe tomorrow he'll be blue. Or stark white.
You know, if I didn't know any better, I would assume that you were from the Blighted District, seeing how green you are. But,
I think he's
First
quite
of all, I am
flowery.
dashing. What are you wearing?
my best,
It is-
okay?
Not what you were wearing before.
No, it was not. You know,
So
I
it's
had a
not your best.
So, okay.
damn interesting night, okay?
Yeah, you died? You mind explaining?
Yes, I died. And here I am. Listen, we split up. We lost contact at the library. Okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you
found
haven't
the
told anyone anything yet. Oh, jeez.
I found the restricted section.
Did you?
No,
because
we
we were in the restricted section.
We found restricted section
You found
upstairs,
upstairs.
but it was gated. It was locked. There was a man.
Also, it was the open invitation restricted section, is what you guys went through.
Well, it had some very, very interesting material that you'd more than likely be interested in.
Oh,
But I'm still interested in your story.
yes. I don't think you're.
You found a different restricted section?
Yes. Mine was actually downstairs behind a bookcase, letting down some stairs, and I don't think your restricted section had Nathaniel in it.
Who's Nathaniel?
No, Nathaniel's. You recognize this one?
Yes. He was there. He's in the city. I found him.
Is he a
with
friend?
Many others. No.
Oh.
No, he is not.
Oh no.
With many others, robed, stealing what looked like many scrolls, taking them through some passageway. I attempted to follow him, to tail him.
See, this is why knowledge shouldn't be forbidden. It wouldn't be stolen.
I managed to crawl into his armor. Spider.
Oh, okay. What's it?
You can do that.
I had a very different image in my head of what was happening.
I'm sure you did.
I don't really know what
sure
it was
you
looking
did.
like, but it
So
wasn't
your
Spider.
raggedy clothes makes a little more sense if you like to become a little bestiality a little bit. I get it. Okay.
I know why you're asking. I'll get there.
Well,
This will all come full circle. I managed to tail him. Unfortunately, I was found out. He managed to quite literally shake me off. Upon hitting the ground, I reverted back to myself. And me being not the most well-dressed, of course, they questioned me as to how a poor man got into the noble district, and I was taken away by the guards and held captive in a cell, where I met another familiar face. Remember our necromancer friend?
yes.
That we kind
Oh, that's good. Oh, the irony of running
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
Oh, that's good. Okay,
Yeah.
well.
fucked around and found out with that one. So, look, I agree. He offered me a deal. He could get me out of the cell. Condition. I agreed. So now I owe him. I owe him a magical item from my own person, which in fact, where's my
Interesting. You
bag?
found yourself in the father's conundrum. Of all things.
And now I also have to go to the Eye of Extra as well, because I promised him something from there too.
Good. Well,
What a coincidence.
we were already planning that. Of course, once you were found. Here's the story, or I guess here's the first question. I'm not sure if you're finished.
No, I'm not.
Okay. Well,
I'm not.
I don't. Never mind.
Finish.
I will wait. I need to know. Please continue.
I agreed, shook hands, and then I passed out. Everything just went to black. And when I woke up, I didn't have my clothes.
Oh, so
Oh.
you really two did have some fun together.
I was on the beach
Naked on
with
the
a
beach.
guard.
Oh.
It turns out the guard was our necromancer friend. He disguised himself magically, was able to pull himself off as a god, and casted feign death on myself. And he reported to the guard, said I had died, he would take care of me, would dispose my body off into the beach, and that's when we kind of made our deal there. Now, naked and alone, I had to make my way back into the city, endured some ridicule, went back to my home.
Why didn't you just shape-shift again?
I might have left that time it out, but yes, I shapeshifted again to a feline. Walked my way back into my house, was able to get some other belongings. Was able to chat a little bit with my neighbor, my friend. And, well, tell me, how have the guards been acting around the city?
Normal. One was a bit of an ass. Two.
A little bit more inquisitive,
Flower
demanding? No?
Not
quite. No, they were more harassing.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, well.
Was he still?
Were they?
Was it? I can't remember if I was there.
You weren't there for that. No, you weren't.
Oh,
there
that's
for
right. You had already
that.
disappeared.
Yeah, you were in
and
jail.
that's when we were like, "Hey, guard guy, you
fucking
seen this
guards.
fruit?"
Ah,
And
yeah.
then D'Artagnan's like, D'Artagnan's like, shoeless. He said shoeless.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Everyone. Okay.
Useless fucking guards. I was a different color then.
Shoeless. He said shoeless. Brother went right over my head. It's a great cover up. All right, so
Well, there's talk of wicked doppelgangers in the city.
Doppelgangers. No, you don't need to worry about me. Huh?
They change more than just colors.
Well, I look over in Vivo's direction if I could see him. I look immediately over.
what is it? What do you
Oh,
need?
actually. Yeah.
You hear there's more around. More of you.
Changelings.
Supposedly.
Oh, doppelgangers.
That's
No.
from what I hear.
I don't think you're saying doppelgangers aren't me.
Do I know what changelings are? Changelings. That's
Do you know what changelings are?
No, I'm asking out of character. I'm asking you. Like that's
Probably not.
okay.
Right, don't know. You probably know of them. Probably don't know a lot about them.
You're a changeling.
I'm a changeling, I reckon. See, now this is one of my forms, and then I go ahead and you're just gonna watch me immediately just changes. I'll change into a form that's more elegant.
That looks delightful.
Oh, you want to see something that looks like that's a. You can watch you just change and turn to you.
God.
Isn't
Why
it
is
just
this happening
delightful?
here?
It's just so delightful.
I love your hair. You have a great smile, by the way.
Yes, you have such a good little flower right there.
Can we please get these
Guys,
two
the room
little
is
chive
over there.
space,
You can
please?
take off your pants later.
And then you're gonna watch you turn back. Says, "You appreciate that a little too much."
No, he's being quite flowery.
Very colorful too.
Just very cheerful.
All right, I digress. So there's talk of doppelgangers more frequent into the city, so the Scale Legionnaires are much more alert about that.
Well, okay, doppelgangers, changelings. I think they can get lumped into the same bucket as far as maybe some enforcement might be concerned. This is interesting. And not quite sure what to make of it. Could you think of anything, Vivo, why there might be doppelgangers arriving here suddenly? Well, with the wave of refugees, do you think that maybe they were blending in with certain folk?
I'm thinking that's probably the best way. You see, normally what happens with us changelings when we end up going in, at least for the sake of our master, going in and trying to change things and learn more and figure out people, we try our absolute best to do it while there's crowds. And I can't think of a better way for a coven of these doppelgangers to come in and sow chaos, kill, and do everything than when there's refugees coming through the city. You know, doppelgangers, they sometimes aren't as friendly as us.
Aren't they more, forgive me if I say this, more primitive
Immensely
in,
more
in
primitive.
the nature?
They're more
perhaps?
primitive, but they will fall in line. They'll play the part. But it's a lot more demoralizing if you're caught alone with them. Not more deadly. I haven't killed you. It's not in my nature. I'm a changeling. But I will reckon that them doppelgangers, they a little bit different.
Perhaps.
Who's the master?
It's a great question. Let's get through this bit first. If that's fair. I believe that's fair.
I wasn't nothing else to say, so.
Well, all right. Well, okay.
Very, very curious to hear what else you had to say there.
Yes,
Mr.
I
Reginald.
also please. Doppelgangers about. You made it to your home, changed into this,
Yes.
and then
Sorry,
met with your neighbor, chatted.
Yeah. Then something interesting happened. I've never seen my entire time there in the Blighted District. Just as we were talking, just sudden bright light. Scared legionnaires going through the main streets, commanding everyone to be inside their homes. So, did what I had to, investigated it. And saw none other than who had the bolt going through the Blighted District, being carried in his carriage.
Interesting. Imagine being carried in a carriage. Wouldn't have thought something like such. Anyway, maybe not more of a palanquin type of device, or I don't know. He's on horseback.
They were carried.
I don't think you would know. You might know.
I don't know what they're called though. Like IRL.
That would be a palanquin,
Ah.
but that's just because.
And that's what I would have said. Literally could not remember what it was called either.
Yeah, I knew exactly
That
what you were
one
talking about. I was
fucking-
like, yeah.
Don't look at me. Not even. No.
That's awesome.
What is it called? Like
Well, the rickshaw is the one with the like they pull them when they're on the wheels. And
Yeah.
everything like that. That's a rickshaw. But yeah, the other one.
Sorry. Yeah. Let's go.
Splitting hairs here.
They were carrying Wuhan the bull towards the docks. I managed to get a better look and get a lot closer. And it looks like they were meeting with someone. It's a small ship. It's an Imperial ship. Wuhan the bull met with Imperials. Not just any regular Imperial commanders. No. These were... It was an officer. And... a general. Officer with a mask of silver. The general mask of gold. That... normal people usually don't get to see them. For the Imperials, whatever they say, it's not like any normal commanding officer or a captain or a general giving off an order. No, these guys, if they give you an order, it's like an order from God itself. From a god.
Ooh, he probably has some good magic.
Agreed. Perhaps.
Yeah,
We can go talk to him. Do you know where he is?
No.
Aren't they friends?
No, you're missing
No,
the
no,
points.
no. Empire not good.
No,
Not good right now.
Not
Not at the
Not
moment.
good.
I
Oh,
don't-
no.
Not good at the moment.
Oh no.
No, people don't like the Empire right now.
Especially here. Well,
They were
maybe Uham might feel different.
Well, they asked Uham some questions. They were asking him
There's a
If-
parlay, is what you say.
very
General
much.
Uham
Yes.
discussing
It's a
sounds.
parlay.
Interesting.
Exchange of dialogue. They're asking if the Lord is in the city. I have a feeling I have a feeling that's maybe the Lord or some of this keep.
Isn't
Isn't
Uham
here.
the Lord?
No, he's the overseer of the city.
And who's the Lord?
Lord is over the overseers. All the other overseers in the area. Think like, I suppose, Uham might be considered a count. It's in traditional terms. And in terms of the empire. And the Lord would be more considered a duke. In terms of delegation. But, interesting. Asking if the Lord's present. Well, I suppose that is a fair question to ask somebody. Like, oh, you're part of the Lord's land, the free land. So is the Lord here? So what to do then? So,
He did not disclose that information. He said that he would not say. Quite literally said, I will not tell you. Which the Imperials kind of shrugged off. Plus the Imperials did ask as well. They did want Uham to hand over any Imperial deserters. Uham also declined this, but instead offered something else. Rather, handing off the deserters from the Empire, he's going to try to track them all down. 6 of them. Uham commanded his scale legionnaires to go find them and have them fight to the death. Coliseum. Read him.
maybe you'll meet one of them. That'd be.
Is that still happening?
Cynthia hasn't come back yet. You know that.
Well, something has to have happened with regard. Well, is your bracelet still?
I actually want to take a look at my wrist.
Yeah, it looks like it's still glowing. So. Now it's actually like kind of just a solid glow.
Okay.
So it seems you're still somehow bound. It's almost like this magic either fully knows or doesn't just ever shut off unless explicitly commanded so or dispelled.
Yeah. Well,
Which
Let's hope Cynthia has some very good knowledge as to what's happening.
Okay. Alright, so Uham met with an Imperial general. They were
Yes.
discussing terms,
Mm-hmm.
and Uham was being quite the hard line and saying, No. I don't agree to your terms, but I will make these deserters fight for sport.
Not so much sport, but to the death.
Well,
Like-
sport to Uham, of course, and the rest.
If you want to put it that way, sure.
I mean, that's essentially what it is. It always has been. Same with the Eye of Exrath,
I guess you're right.
or any sort of hunting. It is all sport, watching it.
Speaking of fighting, are you still? That thing's still there, isn't it?
It's still glowing. Yes. I thought maybe it would stop glowing since everyone thought it was dead. Apparently, everyone thought it was dead.
Yeah, but I think we sent Cynthia to correct that.
I think, well, Cynthia went more or less to
Well, she saw Reginald
the
come back.
Scaled Legionnaires, yes. To more or less maybe diffuse the situation. Because that leads more to my question of, are you still a wanted fugitive? You be for London. But please, I really want to hear the rest of the story. Or rather, come.
Well, I was able to listen to the this whole exchange while I was in the water. In the boats. It's a crocodile.
Figure.
Yeah,
Makes
so
sense.
Got very nice and close.
Are there really crocodiles around here? Maybe it might have been more convincing with like some sort of fish.
No, there's crocodiles in the water.
I couldn't tell you.
There are crocodiles in the water.
Around here, though?
There's quite a few crocodiles in the Eye of Exrath. And the hydras. Quite a few hydras as well. Remember, we saw one of them in the water.
Well, we did.
Yeah, we saw Hydra.
You should have turned one of the hydras.
I wish I could. I wish
I think they would have drawn a little too much attention.
too much suspicion.
Well, if one head couldn't hear everything, the other head could. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, right.
Arthur's.
What else?
Keep going.
What else? I think that might have been it.
They didn't say anything else after exchanging tackles of deserters. 6 deserters specifically.
6 specific deserters.
And it's complaints of doppelgangers, suddenly.
That was before the stuff with doppelgangers. The Imperials seem to be on. Okay. The city is safe from Imperials. They stated that very clear that the Imperials will not harm or go against Uham's word on the city. So the city is safe from Imperials. That was the word from the general, and if his word is any good, well, his word is like the word of God,
Well,
of a god.
so they claim.
So they claim. Well, I know too. What I've heard. City's safe. 6 traders. Potential lord and maybe someone's keeping here. Or besides Cynthia. I'm still looking for Cynthia.
I believe so. Well, I mean, I think it was more of a technicality that she was a part of what's called. Just because she was a servant within, but nothing of great import.
I don't like that she's out by herself right now. Well, if she makes it back soon, we'll relay this information.
I feel like she's in the zone here. Like this is
Ah,
definitely
she
her
definitely
comfort
seems
zone.
like
I don't.
She is in her prime.
Yeah,
In her element. I think she's won a lot of money too.
She's kind of the reason we're still in this suite. Anyway,
Definitely over.
we're definitely tapping into her personal affects.
I think I picked up that you might be tapping into a little more.
I don't know who's talking.
There's word that. Oh, right. They also mentioned that there's word that dragons seem to. Getting to move.
Dragons?
Yes.
Yeah, there was a run-in with some baby dragons.
They're
Juvenile. Had me out cold a couple times. It was great. But you weren't even there for that. No, but only Cynthia remembers. Viva wasn't even there. It was before Viva.
they've been more active from what I heard.
Interestingly enough.
And then they
Why,
exchanged.
do you know that dragons
Wait,
keep
okay, so
very
the
rare
dragons are on
items?
the move.
That's what they said.
From where?
In what
I don't know.
fashion?
They didn't explain. All they said
They
is-
just offhandedly remarked about dragons.
yes.
You're probably close.
Well, we are near the eye, so it makes sense. But if they're mentioning that the dragons are moving, maybe that's not as common.
What they mean by that? X-Wrath
Moving towards the city.
City.
They didn't say anything about dragons doing anything in particular beyond
Defenses need to be put up.
moving. Maybe dragons being more active against people trying to exploit. Maybe the eye.
Being more active or moving. That's pretty much what they said. That's all they said about the dragons. From what I heard.
Interesting.
Well.
Interesting to note, even if they just bring up dragons in casual conversation, in passing.
Very interesting for them to say that. After that, which they exchanged pleasantries, and Rohan the Bold began to walk away, and General said to him in another language, "He al Asar." I don't know what that meant, but
Both of you go ahead and roll.
Or do you need language?
Let's hear language list first, and then I'll have you guys actually roll, because there's a couple different ways I could have you guys roll this depending on who backstories.
Elvish, Sylvan. Common. I could do something though. So
Oh, Jesus Christ. Elvish, Abyssal, Common, and what's the other one? What's the other? Oh god, it's not listed like explicitly. What's the other one that's not Abyssal but like
Infernal?
Infernal? Thank you.
You have
Those
demons and devils.
Yep, those.
So neither of you are going to be familiar with this language. As he kind of is like saying some of these like syllables, though, Arthur, you're going to remember that some of these syllables are actually relatively rooted in like abyssal, like just very, very, very loosely, just like the text and everything for everything is a little bit similar. You're not really able to pick up on it, but I want you to go ahead and roll religion. I want you to roll history with advantage.
Advantage. I'm gonna do the big
18.
What's that?
18.
Ah! Hey, look at that. Oh no! With advantage. Thank God.
let's not put it in.
Oh, that's way better. Oh, that's a 27.
There's
There's a 1 or a 20. Yeah, that's great.
Oh, that's a 12. Okay, so 27.
18 for my
Okay.
religion.
As you're really thinking about it, you're like, I can't think of anything. Like, what is that?
Right.
You end up actually remembering something. So what you're gonna remembering is there was like there's actually conversations that you've heard or you've just been a part of before, where you've heard the words Wakalia Alessa, or Wakalia oh my god, Wakali Al
Assalamu alaikum.
which is
Alaikum
an actual phrase that's said entirely in Celestial, and the actual like language itself is it's not very common. It's actually normally only spoken by like genocide and stuff like that, and like genies and Dajans and everything. And the phrase itself is actually kind of loosely translated as one or two things. It's the gods see this, or it could also mean, may gods watch us. And then, without even him saying the other phrase, there's another phrase that they end up saying, which is normally like kind of like it almost be like hello, like or like I'll see you later, and you say yeah, I'll see you. It's kind of like a small little exchange. There's another phrase that people normally say right after that, which is essentially just saying when they say the gods see this or may gods watch us, it is we are seen, or I see you, or I acknowledge our being. It's almost like an exchange of words. It's meant in the highest of respects, which is normally only done by celestials and elementals and stuff like that. My bad.
We're a little too prime for that word anyway.
There you go. That's what you remember.
Okay.
Those are really high DC.
That's fine. If he didn't get it, I would have done something to make I would have heard it.
Well,
so.
you're about to hear. He's going to have to tell you. So
Yeah, but
Where am I?
That's fine.
Well,
don't forget, you use a level 3 spell slot when you
Yes.
got back for your wife. So just don't forget that. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
well, he did a long rest immediately.
He did. Oh well. Actually, yeah. Never mind. You're good. Yeah.
Yeah, I had enough. I had a 3rd level spell slot to
Okay.
burn anyway, so
Okay,
I was
cool.
able to use it.
Just
and
wanted to
then-
make sure.
And then now I can burn it. Oh my god! I did a long rest.
You did do a long rest.
Yes. I was
All right.
still like.
Did you level up?
I leveled up, but I was still half health for the longest.
Yeah, because he never got a chance to rest. Like,
Yeah.
That's true.
So we'll go to you. Go to you. So that's what you remember.
Well, that sounds like he was speaking on more intimate terms. Intimate, loosely saying that. More formal and well wishes to Uham.
Well, they were both very, very formal. I can tell you that.
The fact that
You would also
Gen-
know in your backstory. It's kind of like it's almost like think about it in this way, like a genie or a Dacian. They normally have to use a spell tongues to talk in any language that's not theirs. But by him doing this, he was talking in Uham the Bold's dialect that he normally just organically speaks. So it was like an extreme respect in that regard for him. So just add a little bit more nuance to that because Asians are weird, so they use tongues to talk.
way more of a, almost as if they might have had some sort of connection, maybe prior to. This is not the first time they've exchanged words or dealt with one another. Perhaps they are fond of the other's outcome. More or less meaning maybe the Imperials have an interest in not demonizing or patronizing Uham. And Uham has an interest in not bringing the war to his walls, which is understandable, but at the same time, the Empire is running amok in Freelands.
So him seemed like he was keeping the safety of his people as a priority. Which, honestly,
Respectable.
Honestly enough, yes, very.
It's more than
respectable.
more than most would offer to their people that they're responsible for.
Well, anyways, yes, that was my night yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you showed up just this morning.
Yeah. So tell me, how was the restricted section?
Quite fruitful of a string to pull on. Find out more.
Found some few interesting articles, chapters, I would say.
Okay.
Well, we definitely found the forbidden knowledge, if there was to be any classified as such. Yeah, the forbidden knowledge that was available to us was quite. Yeah, went into great detail about things some of us might be interested in.
But I'm so glad to hear that you also want to go to the Eye of Extract now, because it seems like everybody wants to do it.
That's the next step, is to go there and to possibly find.
After your fight, of course, because we're totally rooting for you.
But there's still the problem with the Scale Legionnaires. I don't really. That was going to be my main question from the beginning. Are you wanted?
We'll be
Is there a
fine.
reward?
We'll just say something about the doppelgangers.
If Cynthia can clear this up, I don't even know. I guess she's serving as your legal counsel at this point.
I mean, there's probably one right outside. We can probably just go talk to him real quick if we'd like.
I don't want to talk to her.
Well,
Some
to be fair,
simple.
the first one was pretty useless.
Yeah. Indeed. Don't want to.
Well, maybe this one's smarter.
Didn't want to do. Well, But the pretty simple ones, the ones that walk about throughout the day. Walk about. Ones I'm more concerned with would be the one that gave a speech not long ago in the city square by the fountain. Talking of patriotism and kind of a call to action. I don't know. It's interesting. Uham wants to remain neutral in this conflict, so it seems. The Scale Legionnaire commander wanted people to not sit idly by and not only share the news of the Lord and his well-being, news of such, but also offer in and using his speech as a delivery of news from the Lord, that there is a special privateer sort of contract offering a large bounty to those who can prove that they have slayed either an Imperial officer or they have straight up captured an Imperial vessel, ship. And from what it sounds like, sounds like it might have just with how the attitude here is in town, of the popularity amongst people, is that they do seem to be interested in the success of the Lord and the Freelands.
I will say, from everything I've seen as of late, there's a lot of people in the city that are trying to find ships and get out there into, to have extract. Apparently, there has been some Imperial ships, Imperial vessels. One or two of them have actually been burned down by dragons.
Ah, so that's what they more or less mean by dragons.
They were pretty upset about it too. They're hoping they could take those vessels and commandeer them.
Ah, so
They actually have some people that were supposed to be going and searching the shipwrecks looking for Imperial officer mass just so they can make a little bit of coin out there. Yeah, that I think actually the it started roughly the day y'all came back. Actually, like right around then, I was walking around in Noble District, and that was about when it happened. Well,
Seems
reports at least came back of this.
Indeed. It sounds like the Lord's privateer program has definitely invigorated the people, given them much fervor to want to do something.
Fruitful.
And if anything is to be believed, then there are still Imperial armies about. If the general came here, chances are the army, or perhaps navy, well, maybe not navy, the army is not too far away. Perhaps this was a more desperate parley on behalf of Uham to ensure the safety of Chest.
The general, that's obviously not ensures the army should not have been far off.
We traveled just south of here when we went to the cave to find Zephyrus and begin this whole journey. And you don't even know about it right yet. Either way, that very nice handy wizard got us out of a pickle. We meant to save him. Found all sorts of...
So you went to save him and he got you out of the pickle.
Indeed.
Interesting.
But we got him out of a pickle, and then he got us out of the next pickle. Which is the one you saw, which was the very large...
I just saw the shop was open and I saw you guys were there.
Yeah.
Well, D'Artagnan saw the very large primate-looking creature. A demon thing. It was quite a move. Yes. Many demons, many conjured creatures. Oh, not very.
Were you in the Void Caverns?
No. Thank goodness, no. Something. One of the books talked of some place, basically somewhere between the Shadowfell and Interior Plane. Consider it like maybe the very large ass crack between the two dimensions. And
Restricted section stuff.
we don't want to be there.
All right. Yeah, don't want to get near the ass. Got it.
Very stinky. Got it. Stinky indeed. Well, that's okay. So you found a secret passage, ended up happening upon the Commander Nathaniel, the one that we gave up at the. Oh God.
I don't know about anything.
There's quite. Well,
I'm so curious about
pour
this
yourself
master.
a glass. Hey, actually, let me, please.
Yeah. I'll take another one.
You want?
Pour him some more fine wine.
Yeah. Pour him some more.
Cranberry? I hate cranberry.
I'm not a huge fan of these.
Sorry about it.
We good. We good. We chilling.
So it's story time with Arthur. Please get comfortable. This might take a moment. Just kidding. I'll try to get through as fast as I can. All right. So
Can we start with the master?
no, we'll get there. I promise. So the Empire invaded the Freelands, immediately besieged Pike. I'm sure you all understand.
Yes.
And the holdout city of Pike was no longer the holdout city and was successfully besieged and captured by the Imperials. I escaped, as well as many of the companions, to include Margaret and Cynthia, and some others that have either parted ways or are no longer with us. And we spent the next several days fleeing the Imperials. It was miraculous enough to escape from the city during the siege. In fact, we somehow walked out the front door and didn't cause any sort of scene. Anyway. We end up in a small town, small frontier town, much more north of Pike. And there was some strange happenings, strange occurrences. The locals were a bit dull, a bit simple. Didn't really know what to make of it and needed help. We found out, of course, that after much investigation, that there was some sort of more sinister force around the area. And
As you're telling the story, you're gonna recognize that it's starting to rain pretty heavily outside. A little bit of thunder's cracking too.
sleep right
Yeah, fucking Margaret.
Oh man, it's so soothing.
So we discovered a more sinister force is working and weaving its way through the town affairs. And as we basically go and follow this giant flesh golem that was seemingly created by another artificer of more knowledge and expertise than myself, that it served some sort of, some sort of master.
Oh my god, it is thunder.
Very thunder.
My god.
It's fucking going crazy.
Well, maybe you'll have a swamp to fight in. It's afternoon. With this much rain.
Maybe nobody got
It's not too muddy.
And once we followed this flesh golem to its master, we found that it is in fact an artificer of greater knowledge. But this artificer was not his own master. In fact, he followed he was in servitude in the graces of a mind flayer.
Would I know who that is?
You know who that is. Actually, it was brought up a couple sessions ago. You were familiar.
Is it the same stance as far as race towards the mind flayers? Is that just like a generic thing? Of
You don't like mind flayers.
Okay. Yeah.
Nobody likes mine.
Just checking.
It generally means
They eat your brain.
You?
They assimilate and eat your brain.
You met a mind flayer.
Yes.
In your... You?
I'm still myself, but now there is a large debt, if you will,
Very large.
that we owe in regards to. It was a deal more or less made under duress. More or less about if we don't agree, we won't survive, kind of thing. It was
I will be careful how you say that.
okay. Well,
He is a good master.
he is.
He was very kind of us, very kind master to that he let us leave with our lives. Very much gracious.
But Vivo, I hope you can appreciate that the fact that it was a very scary interaction, and it could have gone south very quickly.
It's always scary. Same thing as when he sends me up on the IVX route. It's one of those errands he has to run. They are scary. Negotiation of those things are not fun. But I would just be careful what you say about him. He is a good man.
Well, man, is interesting.
What would you prefer me call him? Mind Flayer? I could do that.
That's what he is, I suppose.
He is.
I am a man, and I am nowhere near
He
the
is very
intellect.
sophisticated.
Indeed.
He understands what he wants.
And what the master wants, and what he tasked us to do in return of not only letting us go, but also to serve his will, and to bestow upon us some very delightful gifts, is that we help spread his influence, quite literally spread it through these, and I pull out of my sack one of these tablets, runic tablets. Now this is supposed to be some sort of, forgive me if I'm misspeaking, some sort of channeling stone where he can project his will to a proximity around this. So he's asked us to leave it in places where there are folk, where there are resources that can be used, and in return we have a nice present that he gave, or was willing to part with in return for our service.
Interesting.
And that's why Vivo's here, because Vivo is our direct line to the master.
No, that's absolutely what I do. I keep
Vivo's
tabs
been-
on you, and I also help you out.
And Vivo's been very nice and helpful and protective of Margaret and Cynthia. And hopefully it's been nice and relaxing. The city.
It's been pleasant. I'm used to a lot more rough conditions.
You've said you've gone to the Eye already.
Oh, quite a few times actually.
Do you mind sharing
He's
about why?
enlightening us on what have you wanting to do?
Well, and most of the times it was trying to set up the actual take-in of Shadowstone. Not Shadowstone. Sorry, it's Raisinstone. Raisinstone. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, actually, you know how you mentioned at one point there were little baby dragons coming down and attacking you or something like that. Well, that was part of what we were trying to do. We were running a negotiation with the dragon. We have a very good relationship with them, and we had them actually come down and try to attack Raisinstone itself. Because if we're able to do that and sow enough chaos, then, well, we'd be able to go ahead and take Raisinstone for ourselves. But I will say, what y'all end up doing, huge help, not gonna lie. Y'all end up walking right into this lair and just told them, hey, listen, here's the entire city, we're willing to give it to you. It made things a lot easier for us. We did not have to go through the full negotiation with them, thankfully. But we were trying to set things up for that at the very least. If we saw enough chaos to come off from the supply lines, eventually we'd be able to take the city for ourselves and there'd be no contact with the outside world. We go ahead and assimilate them all. But things ended up
Can we
changing
get back
a bit.
to the discussion of the dragons? Of how... Are they doing that here?
I don't understand what you mean.
Well, you said you colluded with the dragons to send them to Risenstone.
All the time, yeah.
So, and it sounds like he's expanding. So is he... We just heard of dragons coming here. Is he trying to take over. He just told us.
Well, no, before he just told
Oh, I
us.
don't know. I don't think so.
What are you talking about?
No, we didn't know about
No, before
the
this,
dragons.
we did not know that. At least from what I'm aware, we did not know
Yeah.
that. That was a new piece of information. And I'm asking of the fact of there are dragons coming here. Is the master sending the dragons?
Well, the dragons you said were attacking
City.
Risen Stone, right.
So
Yeah,
is
the-
this the next spot?
the juvenile dragons were attacking Risenstone. Well, we were on the way into Risenstone.
Character.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. You were like... That's all like, this is so awkward. Like...
I'm turning into people.
I understand the progression. But at the end of the day, the master, who is now your ally, your master, wants to expand, and he used dragons last time to cause chaos. And
Well,
he
he
just
used
stated that dragons are on the
dragons.
move.
Well,
They attacked the boats.
Yeah, to be fair, they aren't attacking the sea. They're attacking the boats themselves. They're attacking the boats themselves. So the city seems to be safe. I don't believe that my master wants to roll over the ashes. He kind of just wants to keep things going and
He was attacking Imperial vessels. People going,
right. No, it's a
going to
good
the
thing.
shipwrecks
Good
and
thing.
trying to find.
So they said gifts from the master.
Oh yeah, quite a few gifts. Yeah,
Some of the masters.
yes, a collection of relics and things of that nature.
Relics, you say? What would you say is the most rare item he has?
Well,
One of them wasn't taken. So.
until they took it, it was Vale's Reach. It was an artifact from one of the goddesses, I believe.
Yeah, don't know where it's at anymore.
Well, that's unfortunate.
A bit. I'm hoping. Yeah.
We'll
Well-
say that again.
Anyway, I look at my arm briefly. Sore subject. Regardless, we went. There's so much going on. All of that leads to the fact that we have arrived here. I don't think the Lord, or excuse me, the Master, intends on taking the whole of Shadowstone in the same, perhaps, manner that was Risenstone. I believe it might be a more intricate affair, with the fact that it's a larger city with a more resilient defender and ruler. Don't think that a very wise and old genie that doesn't. That proved to be a formidable foe.
As you're talking, you end up hearing the door just slam open. You're never going to believe this. I have wonderful news. Reginald, you're awake. Yes.
Yes, and I'm glad that you're okay as well.
Well, why wouldn't I be okay?
Sorry, I got a little bit worried about you, but
I'm quite alright, thank you.
good.
Is it? I'm assuming it's Cynthia, not Margaret. Okay. They're both gone.
Well, you seem in a rush. What's the news?
Well, I just ran all the way up the stairs to get back up here. Whew, by the gods. Okay, so I ended up going and talking to the people that run the actual arena itself. And I informed them that you're very much alive. They asked for proof. I said they had to take my word for it, and I was a member of the Lord's servitude in court. And they bought it. And they didn't need any additional help or service. They know that you're alive. But here's the best part about it. Listen. I convinced them that you actually did die. But by the powers of you alone, you were raised. So now, part of your gimmick, if you want to call it. You are Reginald
Woodstock.
Woodstock. The one raised from the grave.
What if it's more Reginald Deadwood? That's pretty cool.
I'm not running all the way back down to the
We could maybe change it when we're there. I don't.
I am not very creative.
Seems a bit long.
I was a servant to the Lord's court. I don't know what you would expect from me. I don't think of amazing things. I do things. And I did it. So I'm so sorry, Arthur, but that was what I could do at the moment. But all to say, it's very exciting news because it's actually a great sale for you. And there's a little bit of different news.
Okay, I proceed.
So, as it turns out, the opponent you're supposed to be fighting against, he heard this news that you were alive, and that got passed around like wildfire. Partly because I wasn't too quiet when I was talking to the gods, but this whole thing about Reginald Stockholm being the one who lived, and people saying in the blighted district, saying that like Reginald might have been around, and all this other stuff. People saying that they saw ghosts of you, and so many things. But because of all this, the other fellow decided to think that you were doing an act, doing a play. So he went and did this marvelous display at the city gates. So much so that I saw it from the other side of the gates.
Oh?
It was you're not facing the right direction to see it. He was shooting massive fire into the sky, and screaming a lot, and I did go over there to kind of see through the gates, and some people were coming in and out, and I think he's a little stronger than what I let on.
Yeah.
My apologies, but
The same fellow I was supposed to fight?
the odds have shifted quite a bit since this. Normally the fighters don't have this one-upping going on, but because you died and then came back, the odds have shifted slightly. You're
So does that
actually
mean-
not favored anymore.
Wait, so this might be lucrative for us.
I was gonna
after
say,
all.
what did that something allow us to place a bet?
It would.
I could potentially win some of the money I lost the other day. That would be so wonderful.
Let Cynthia continue,
You
please.
could.
I feel like she's got like a little twitch because she wants to talk about gambling, but she's not allowed to.
The odds have shifted quite a bit.
Okay, well, what are the odds? Surely they couldn't have changed that drastically.
So if you were to win, and I would have bet say 10 gold on you.
Okay, reasonable amount. Are you getting like what, 20 gold from me?
Right, like right now or
40
before?
gold back.
Before or now?
Uh-huh.
Well, no, before it was like pennies.
Oh,
Before it was you
You
yeah.
would have somehow lost money
40 gold?
off of 10.
4 times.
So if I would have bet 10 gold, I would win 40 gold.
Ah, well, this is easy then.
So
Even
Well,
easier.
you're not gonna lose. Beautiful.
Yeah, easy. He's just some kid around the street thief.
Is that the only one that has odds like that?
I do a more of a history check on the
the betting odds?
Yeah.
Sure, go ahead, roll history.
yeah, more so on the fellow that I remember, like how he was as a person. Oh, that's cocked. Okay.
That's good.
That is not good. Okay, that's a 5.
Nothing's really coming to mind.
Okay, fair enough. I'm just checking a little bit from the odds. Okay. Then what are his odds?
So if you bet 30 gold on him, you win 10.
Oh.
So he's a heavily favored,
Oh.
Reginald. Heavily favored.
Not as favored as you were.
When was he doing this?
Yes.
When was he
They
expressing himself?
Well, about 2 hours ago when I
must
was.
have been putting on.
Well, 2 hours
a
ago.
hell of a display.
It was about 2 hours ago, and it was quite the display.
Wonder if he has time to recover appropriately.
I don't know. It was quite a thing.
Reginald, I think we can give you some things to be part of your toolkit, perhaps. Might protect you.
What things could we give Reginald to help him do better? I'm
More wearable objects, perhaps.
I'm a little worried. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's why I figured I'd start with the good news.
I can give you these handcuffs.
Huh? Handcuffs.
They were on your
You're gonna
necromancer friend.
tie him to a tree.
No, I mean,
Wait, what? Oh, you still need all of your belongings.
Yeah, I was trying to get to that.
Is he clear with the guards? Are they going to try to find him? Once.
That is a wonderful question.
I was really hoping that was one of the things you were resolving.
I would think he would be okay.
Would much like my stuff back. That would actually be
It's probably
a
the
big
next,
play.
Probably the next thing we do from here is get your stuff.
Big play is
Assuming.
if I would win or lose this fight, I could
Well,
stuff
We might need you with us.
where are they then? Where's your stuff?
where I was held captive in one of the cells near.
Do you know, is it still there?
And when it's delivered to your
It was
house.
delivered to your house.
Was
You
it
would've-
delivered?
Yeah.
It
So,
was delivered.
Was it? Okay.
so
I
you would have
could
seen
not-
it when you went
Oh,
home.
so I have all my stuff in.
Yeah, you do have all your
we're
stuff.
I was
gonna
about to be
retcon
like,
that,
Not,
Okay.
not your clothes. Not your clothes.
Okay, so all my stuff. Never
All
mind, I
your
have
shit's there. Just
I just.
reach.
Alright.
They didn't take it.
I would much rather.
your warlock
I
buddy
would
took your
much
clothes
rather
and threw them
want-
over the cliff.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
would
he
much
did.
rather want to get more better clothes at this point. Doesn't have to be fancy, but still
Do you
close.
use armor?
Don't really like using armor.
Then fine. I
Or
won't
a
give you
robe.
this.
A fine
I might be able to
robe.
whip you up something.
Fine robe would be good. More like
Not
earthy.
necessarily a satin robe.
No.
Silky.
How long would
Those
it
are two.
take me to like use my disguise kit to improve his outfit? Because I do that on a long rest when I do that every
Probably an hour. Make them like a good like halfway decent looking outfit.
Yeah.
About an hour.
I mean, I could use this. I mean, I change completely every time.
Yeah, you do.
Here, take off your clothes. Let's go. You don't have to be naked. I don't need your undergarments. I just need the outerwear.
You should definitely bathe, by the way.
I definitely do.
In fact, I think you left some mud. I probably want to.
Is that a cat paw?
Yeah, in the hallway. Cynthia, before I forget, was that all the news that you had?
Yes, that was all I had.
Okay. Now, did I hear you correctly? You were saying that you were part of the Lord's court. You
Yes,
mentioned
this
that?
is something we knew already.
But you mentioned that to guards?
The arena.
I mentioned it to the arena. Yes.
I would try not to say that out loud.
Why not?
We've heard word that the guards, more so the skilled legionnaires, are on the lookout for 6 potential. Well, no, not 6. I'm sorry, I'm mixing them up. There's probably word that. Well, there is word that there are some. To keep here.
I think best, Cynthia, to not draw attention to ourselves with maybe such sayings. That might definitely have some sway, but would make us probably more of a target to
Perhaps we should
perhaps
go
potential
talk to
agents.
them, then. The Lord Skull. Maybe we should go find them. And find out how we can help.
That actually might not be a good idea.
Yeah.
Cynthia.
Maybe they'll be there at. Fine.
Yes,
Would be that the
Cynthia.
arena.
Well, during the fights, what you do best. Go ahead, Gamble. Speak to some of the nobles. Get some ears, some gossip. Maybe if you can find any more of the Lord's Keep running through. Managed to find some other ones the other night.
I can absolutely do that. Yes, of course.
Right. Well, let's. Did they say when I have to fight?
I believe it was sundown is when they expect the fights to begin, but they want you there shortly before sundown. So I'm imagining probably a couple hours at best.
Well, you have a couple hours to kill.
We don't need to get your stuff, so that's good.
Yeah.
Do you want these magical cuffs?
That's full.
It's what I took off your friend.
They nullify magic.
So if he's a magic wielder and you can slip the cuffs on him.
These were on Zephyrus.
Oh, there we go.
You just have to close the gap and some of them slap. Oh, those weren't easy to get off either. Well, they edge. I kind of want to inspect them and see like what exactly. If they're easy to just like
Slap on.
You know those like slap on
And they go,
yeah, I love that.
You're coming with me. Hey.
So it looks like basically what it is two kind of crescent moons going around, and they're kind of bound by some kind of what looks like just like a kind of like a magic like thread that's kind of in between them. And when you kind of saw them on the necromancer, you saw it was basically just like these kind of crescent moons going around that seem to like kind of create a full magic like binding going all the way across, then magic going in between. So the magic kind of like went between these two crescent moons and kind of binded on both of them. You do remember when you used, I think it was a spell magic on it, the magic on the bottom side of the crescent moon just immediately fell, and then the magic on the inside also kind of dispersed. So it was kind of trying to shoot back and forth as he was able to take them off, and immediately the magic just kind of shot back between the two parts again.
I think if you can manage somehow, you just have to close the gap. I think that's potentially easy enough with a wild shape of sorts.
No, I'll be able to. Okay.
I mean, that
Close.
staff looks very unique as well. Maybe the combination of the two.
Oh no, yeah. Oh, no. I can close the gap.
Your odds are much better, I think, once we've kind of combined everything we can offer. Is there anything else we can give that would give a slight advantage without being necessarily a potion or something that you have to gadget that you have to pull from your belt?
Let's just say that. Let me visit our friend Zephyrus.
Are we able to? Yeah, let's go.
Visit our friend Zephyrus. I actually interested in something that he may or may not carry. Maybe he might have some information.
No, I might also be able to assist you before you go in a secluded area.
They'll let you be behind me
Before you check in.
before I check.
Before you check in.
Okay.
Cynthia, do we know the rules in terms of how much equipment he's allowed to bring in to the fights with him?
I believe for equipment, it's anything you can carry on your person. No bags. You're allowed to bring a quiver for carrying devices and a component pouch if you are some kind of spellcaster.
Would a bag of holding count as a component pouch?
Unfortunately, it does not. It counts as some kind of backpack of belonging. This is all thoroughly checked before fighting is going on.
What about magical auras? Do they dispel you when you go
I
through?
believe they actually dispel you before you enter the arena, so any spells you cast have to be immediate. I would never know though. I've only heard rumors from people. I could be wrong.
You should be able to bring those magical cuffs.
Oh, I have no issue.
The
with
nullifying cuffs.
that. You want them to?
I can still have the cuffs on my person. That shouldn't
Oh,
be an
absolutely.
issue.
But more of thinking mage armor.
That would have helped, but
Last 8 hours.
it's not really the
I mean, you
armor
could
that
just
I
do
would
it anyway
focus.
and hope for the best. Not like I'm missing it. I'm doing so.
Other head on my.
There's not much left. Take
Well, let's go to the store.
Okay.
Let's go to Zephyrus's.
Yes, I do believe. Hopefully, he's caught up on his work, and we can perhaps get maybe some sort of. Maybe see if he has any special offers to friends who might have helped him out of a pickle, while he helped us help him out. Lots of pickles, but I don't even care for pickles myself, personally. Especially on sandwiches. Ugh.
Before we do that, one question.
In our room.
You've stayed in this
There's a
room
fuck
before.
ton.
Look at the table.
Fuck ton. I grabbed like a fuck ton of bread last time, and I was saying it out to Dion when he was drunk.
Oh, thank God! And I just start grabbing like bread by the handfuls and.
Yeah, there's plenty of food.
Alright, I'm just gonna, just in case I'm like.
We're in the suite, man. We're just
haven't
everything's
had-
provided.
Yeah, this is my like second glass of wine already.
I haven't had any since yesterday. Just give me a moment.
I'm bored up.
Reginald's just gonna be scarfing some food down.
Awesome. All right. So as you end up finishing eating, the lot of you ends up kind of working your way down the stairs and everything. Or were you planning on bringing Cynthia and Margaret with you?
I'm getting in my
If Margaret's
Getting your
back,
fine attire?
fancy suit.
if Margaret's back, does she complete her potions?
She has not completed a potion yet.
That's for tomorrow.
All right. Anything else you guys are trying to grab before you go? So you're changing. Are you changing or anything?
Nah, I'm good. I gave you clothes. I made your shit into better looking shit.
I have shit. Okay.
Okay, you good? You have shit. Better looking shit.
Okay.
It's not as nice as ours, but it's
Right.
because it was raggedy shit already.
To be fair, I don't think yours is as nice as his. So.
I mean, I'm an elegant creature.
Right, but his clothes is elegant.
I might not be an elegant creature, but I am dressed elegant.
So you're gonna watch as both Cynthia and Margaret both come out wearing these amazing clothes.
Margaret, you look to die for.
Thank you so much.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Truly.
Darling. You watch as she just kind of like leans against you.
Darling, please.
Such a beautiful couple.
Thank you.
I like to think so.
We're so happy.
It's kind of wraps.
Thinking
around
of planting roots here in the city. Won't we do?
We will. And you were talking about maybe working into a potion shop or something.
Yes.
Would be delightful.
Here in the noble district, perhaps. Would be quite
That's
nice.
ambitious, Arthur.
Well,
Maybe we could take over that crappy tailor store. That was very rude to us the other day.
like the one in the other district in this thing.
Oh, that gentleman was so polite.
It was, and the one here was much more. Can't
Verbal.
Really?
If very snobby, very uppity, stuffy type.
That's
You probably
revolting. I'm surprised you stood for that, Arthur.
It wasn't more or less standing forward to this. We left. They didn't need our business. We didn't need that. It's better just go to Rigaldo Mays down the Convent Street.
Well, Arthur, you have that commanding presence about you. I know that wherever you go, you'll make it amazing for us. I know it.
We are sweet. So Cynthia as well.
Of course. Don't be so modest, love. Alright. So, as the three of you end up walking out of the hotel, what?
Roll initiative.
Walking out. Can somebody actually clear it off by chance? Yeah, I did actually clean it up earlier.
Imagine not doing
You
that.
were up here first.
I know, but I was trying to get everything all set up.
Uh-huh.
I think I left a napkin up there too, so if you guys have the rubbing alcohol, you should be able to.
Cocktail.
I got it. Well, this is a type of alcohol.
Yeah, there you go. Alright. So as the three of you end up kind of walking downstairs into... Yeah, it's really going to be stuck in there. If I'm rubbing alcohol.
Just drop
For
it.
the-
As the three of you end up going down there with Vivo, Margaret, Cynthia, finding your way down to the Noble District, you're eventually walk your way through where you get to the checkpoint. As you get to the checkpoint, he's going to end up checking all of the papers of everyone that's there. And then he's going to stop and kind of look at you, Reginald. So it's true then.
Yes, it is true. What you heard.
If you win this, you won't be a legend. Alright then. Go on.
I heard there's good odds on this one. You should, well, maybe not favorable odds, but good ones if he does win.
It's odds, he'll tell you that.
Odds are odds.
Has it changed?
5 to 1 now, perhaps?
Would not know. Wouldn't
I
know.
have to talk to one of the game jockeys. Oh, what the fuck they're called.
Game jockeys.
Best of luck to you. Alright, now. Go on, she just kind of let you walk through the checkpoint.
Much appreciated.
And as you end up walking through the checkpoint, you're getting into what is like the central area of the city. You're going to end up kind of walking barely by the fountain as you kind of are gazing up at it, admiring the gold, the gems, the beauty.
Ah, the fountain. Yes, fountain. Nothing suspicious about the fountain.
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 has a hidden pass.
No hidden something. No, nothing hidden or secretive about this fountain.
Nope.
None at all.
Normal fountain.
Normal fountain. Love it. They should call it a normal fountain.
Normal
I love
fountain.
fountains, bro. Fountains are my favorite.
Normal fountain. Or something like that.
Yeah, it's a normal fountain.
So as you end up getting closer and closer to this fountain, you're gonna end up seeing what looks like a bunch of guards seem to be kind of was forming a circle
Around the
And
By the normal fountain?
by the normal fountain. But you see like what is more and more people just kind of crowding around. And you end up hearing screaming coming from the inside of the circle.
Oh gods!
Screaming from the normal fountain? Where?
Fountain is screaming?
Here's a fountain. And then
Yeah.
you have like guards that are kind of surrounding this area. A bunch of people kind of congregating over there.
Okay. Let's go look on the other side of the normal fountain.
Okay. So you end up walking over there. So what's
Curious.
All right, is everyone going to?
Yep. We do have time.
We have what? 2 hours? Hour?
Couple hours.
Hour
Still
45.
Sun up.
Technically speaking, it is on your way over to the shop.
No. We're already past. You have like 2 hours before your fight. Yeah, you got back at frickin' sunup.
And
then you left and came back.
did a
Yeah,
lot
for 8
shoot
hours.
me for a while. Yeah, okay. Much needed. Alright.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we only have a couple hours.
Okay.
So
Shouldn't take more
be,
than-
be,
It shouldn't take more than
be
a couple
frugal
minutes.
with what you
Be so for real.
It shouldn't take more than a couple minutes. Let's have a look.
So as you end up kind of walking over to the group, you're gonna have to push your way through the crowd a little bit. It seems like people are starting to kind of just
Back fighter here.
really get in there. And as you begin kind of like pushing
What's
your way
that?
through, and like people know like flight is going through. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen.
Woodstock Prime.
Make way.
The undead of whatever the fuck he's called.
Woodstock the Risen.
The risen one has come.
Oh no! So as you end up pushing all the way through, you're gonna get up to what looks like a front area. You can kind of at least look over some people's heads as they're a little bit shorter. And as you look inside, you're gonna end up seeing what is all the guards surrounding what is this one individual wearing some kind of like a kind of nicer attire. You're gonna watch this person who says, "You're not taking me. I'm not doing it. Get away from me." No. Oi, you're supposed to be one of them Imperials. We're taking you in. We checked your papers, it's you. No, it's not me. I'm not going in there. I'm not doing anything. I'm a normal citizen of the city. I paid my dues. I'm good to go. Orders directly from Uhan Ball himself. We're taking you in. You're fighting. Looks like everyone's starting to kind of just hoot and holler a little bit as this seems to be happening.
Fucking Russian.
So what do you guys want to do?
He's gonna fight in the pits. I'm gonna instigate a little bit.
Yeah. and as you're instigating, I want you to roll persuasion. What else do you guys want to do?
Do big dice again. Kind of funny.
I'm letting Arthur instigate. Like
Yeah, I'm in a
I'm
very
fully
sure
behind it as well.
I'm not a different season right now. So
21.
otherwise I would.
Oh my god.
I'm too nice right now. I can't.
All right. So as you end up saying that, it seems like people in the crowd are actually starting to kind of listen to you. It seems like a resonates.
Wait, what'd you say?
He's gonna fight in the pits.
And people just start kind of screaming and hollering. And one of the things you end up saying too is, "Fucking Imperials!" Is everyone else just keeps like kind of like picking it up, like, "Yeah, fuck this guy. What is he doing? What city is it? Oh, I heard that he's one of them normal people. Fuck him. Fuck him coming here trying to fuck up the free lands." And everyone just seems to be like just going and going.
He pleasures himself to the gods!
Hey, fuck him! Oh, just get him fucking out of here! What is this nonsense?
His pants are wet right now!
It's like, oh, I'll make it wet. And you end up watching as it looks like something just comes flailing through the crowd. It ends up hitting this guy that's standing there in the center. I'm not doing this. No, I'm not going out like this. You're gonna end up watching you kind of like reach inside the pack.
He's got a gun! I can't even think of anything right now.
All right, who here is tall?
I am.
Okay,
I'm like 5'10".
What do you consider tall?
I'm
above 6 foot.
Yes, I am.
5'11", yeah.
I'm 6'6".
Roll acrobatics.
Jumping on your tippy toes right now.
10.
Dex save.
As you're trying to get up and look, you're not able to see anything.
Okay.
But what you're going to end up seeing is as he's kind of like pulling around, it looks like he's pulling out this bag. As you look on it, you see what is actually a almost like a crest, and
I don't think I'd respond now.
and the crest in the bag ends up having a giant Z on it that says M&M, which you know to be actually Magic and More by Zephyrus.
Magic and more by Z.
So as that happens, you're gonna watching as he kind of pull out this bag and puts his hand inside of it. You watch as he pulls out what is this weird crystal ball. It's gonna be completely brown inside of it.
Is no one going to stop this man?
He's gonna brown himself.
He's gonna blow up the city!
Can I roll history as far as if I know what the brown crystal ball is?
Sure, you can roll.
Shit,
Or
brown,
Arcana?
shit brown ball.
Let's have you roll Arcana, yeah.
Everyone's gonna shoot them.
Oh, that's a 26.
Okay. Yeah, so actually, as you're looking at it, even from a distance, you're able to
And I mean,
kind of
I'm
catch a glimpse at it. And you know that there's sometimes scenarios where, like, these kind of, like, crystal-looking balls that normally are just made out of glass, they end up being infused with some kind of magic and some kind of a spell that can sometimes perform different types of things. Sometimes it's divination. Sometimes it's actually trapping monsters inside, kind of essentially just being able to release these things into the wild for brief periods. There's also other times that crystal balls can be used to perform certain types of just general incantations. But in this particular case, the way it kind of looks, it doesn't look like he's planning on using it for anything other than potentially just destroying it right now.
Right here.
Got a gun.
What do you want to do?
I'm screaming.
Don't let him break that. To the guard, like people, he's like guards trying
Roll
to take him.
persuasion with this.
Please stop this man from killing us all!
Persuasion with what?
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
You're so polite. I feel like it's gonna be.
Would you please
You might want to stop that.
He smashes it to be the end of us.
now! Do it now! Stop it! Stop
Our
it!
very demise would
Slap
happen
him
in
on
slow
his
motion.
wrist.
Well, because it's disadvantage, I got a dirty 1.
No.
And you said persuasion?
Yeah.
Yeah, dirty 1.
It sounds like you're,
Stop!
Yeah, I mean,
Stop it now!
you're talking so quietly that like nobody really hears you. You're like, I don't mean to be a burden, but see, if that hits the ground, it might be bad.
Excuse me, peacekeeper man. Do you believe
I
it's
mean,
quite
well, okay,
prudent to
hold on,
point out the fact that he
I-
has,
I-
in fact, a very...
I am cheerful and
Volatile
celebration.
You are.
I'm not. I'm still like. I still feel like I'm above. Like I
You-
still
you-
feel a little entitled.
You would be, but with that one, you're kind of misjudging the
Okay,
situation.
that's fair. But I
Or
just
that
want to
one,
clarify
yeah.
too. Like,
Basically,
I
you're
guess-
drooling over
I'm
it.
not,
be
I'm
able to
not
hear
nice.
them,
I'm still.
You would hear him. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna take his word for it. I'm just gonna scream, "Hit the deck! Hit the deck!"
Okay, roll persuasion. Actually, roll performance probably.
Oh, okay.
Gotta
Performance. Ooh, that's a 6.
And as you end up saying that, it seemed like some people are just kind of like, "What? What did he say? What's going on?" As that happens, you're gonna watch as he just immediately. You're gonna see this. He immediately chucks this ball right into the center of the ground. You're gonna watch as it just goes and shatters, and shards almost shoot out.
Can I instantly cast Mage Armor?
You can cast Mage Armor as this is happening.
Okay.
You're gonna watch as these shards just like basically just like shoot out. They start spinning all around, creating a spiral. And the guard is saying, "Oi, get in there! Tackle him! Get him!" You're gonna watch as some of the guards start going in, and immediately all these shards of glass are shooting out. You're gonna watching as this smoke amazing. And all of a sudden, claps back in as all the shards of glass come back to the inside, and the entire ball just explodes as these shards of glass go shooting out in every direction. And all of a sudden, you watch as what comes out of almost like a portal that's kind of forming in front of you. This giant ape-like creature that has horns coming out of the sides and 4 arms begins to crawl its way out. And it looks at you and it goes,
Did somebody say peanut butter? It's Winton again. I'm so happy.
different one.
Different Winton. Okay.
Different one.
This is
But-
Primal Rage Winton.
We are going to roll initiative and start at the beginning of the next session.
Oh, yeah, true. This probably take like.
Yeah, it's gonna take a
so
while.
take a look. No,
So
I don't want it. I have a fight. I need to conserve my fucking
So he
spell
has
slots.
a gun. Okay.
I just rolled.
We're gonna have to roll it again.
Oh.
Roll again, bitch.
Well, thank y'all so much for joining us and this week of Millennial Tavern. Can somebody go ahead and fix the camera by chance? Oh, so the camera got shifted.
Oh.
But thank y'all very much for joining us at Millennial Tavern this week. We'll be back at it again here next week, hopefully having all of our companions as we venture forth into a lovely combat encounter. So, anything y'all want to shout before we go?
It's almost Halloween,
It is.
so you better get your parties in this weekend or by Thursday next week.
That is scary.
Absolutely.
That's the day.
And we will hopefully all be dressing up for next D&D sessions. Hopefully. We'll see.
Or maybe
see.
like slightly dressed.
Slightly
I'll
dressed.
have
At least a little.
I'll have a shirt on.
A little bit. Well,
That's good.
that's a
So
step in the right
Shiloh.
direction, I suppose.
So Shiloh.
All right. Well, thank y'all so much for being here, and remember to follow us on Twitch at Millennial Tavern, and also get on our YouTube, which is Millennial Tavern as well. Give us a subscribe, and be checking out these videos that we post, or catch up on anything that we have. So thank y'all very much, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.